Welcome everyone to Breaking the Paralysis of Analysis. I am Debbie Duenas-Fears, the Director of Sales at the Terraces at Los Altos. I am here today with Brian. Welcome, Brian.
Hi, Deb. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody, for being here. All you proactive homeowners, you. So we're going to start our webinar of the Breaking the Paralysis of Analysis. Thanks so much. If you've never heard me speak or you don't know who I am, you can look me up on Google. You can just type in Brian Schwatka, kind of a weird last name there, maybe comma realtor, and you can see some testimonials, homes that I've sold, some videos that I've made, some webinars and classes that I've done. Me in a nutshell, my purpose solely is to help homeowners make the best decisions for their future, whether they're staying or whether they're going. That's why I created the Stay or Go homeowner system. With the goal of that system, it's a three-step process. First, I help homeowners decide if they should go. Once we decide if they're going to go, then I help the homeowners decide where they're going to go, whether that's a new, smaller home in the area, whether it's relocating out of the area, whether it's transitioning to a retirement community, or a little of all of those. So first, now we know if we're going, we know where we're going, and then I help the homeowners create a flight plan. It's a plan that reduces stress for them, spells everything out, and help them sell their homes to get the biggest bang for their buck. I teach all of this information at community centers, at retirement communities, and I've made about, I don't know, 70 plus educational videos to help you make these good decisions. So the website that goes along with everything that I do is stayorgohomeowner.com. And there's nothing to buy there. It's just a bunch of educational information. It asks you, which homeowner are you? I might want to go. Where would I go? And I'm ready to go. So that's it in a nutshell, a little bit about me. We are here to talk about the paralysis of analysis, the analysis of paralysis, and on and on and on. And it's really difficult to make these decisions. And Debbie and I have seen this over years and years and years. You can teach people as much as possible, but they're still sort of on the fence. And the definition of the paralysis of analysis is overanalyzing or overthinking things so that a decision is actually not ever even taken. You know, some people make decisions easier than others, quicker than others. Me, I'm like, choice A, choice B, I'll take choice A. My wife is consumer reports, Facebook questions, asking all of her friends. My mom took her 5 years to figure out which car she wanted to buy. So I understand that it's not easy. So we thought we would tell you why we think you should be making some transitions or choices. And what I've found over the years is homeowners do have choices and options. So let me just spell out a couple of the top ones that I hear the most. The one I hear the most, the high 90%, is I'm staying in my home. I mean, the husband's usually, you're taking me out feet first. I'm staying in this home. I like my neighborhood. I like everything about that, which is fine. And I'm fine with that too, as long as you're making good decisions and you know that you can do that. Another choice or an option you can make is you can downsize to a smaller home, maybe the 5 bedroom, 2-story, 3-car garage with a pool home doesn't suit your current lifestyle, right? So you want a single story, you want less maintenance, you want it to be safer. That's another option for you. You can also transition to a better home. Maybe you don't want to remodel your kitchen and your bathrooms and all the things that go along with that. You just kind of want to trade this home for that home. Maybe a smaller or larger one. It's up to you, but those are some choices that we've been seeing. Some people are relocating out of the area. They're cashing out and buying something for cash somewhere else. They're relocating to their vacation homes or their rental properties. They're moving in with friends and family, or they're having friends and family move in with them. There's so many of them. I'm sure you have a sort of a plan of what you're thinking of how you're going to spend your last chapter of your life. But all of these have one thing in common. They're all called really aging in place with the assistance of in-home care. So I don't care what solution or creative idea you have, someday you're probably going to need in-home care. So instead of having all these different options, I'm trying to make it simpler for you. And really, I think there's only 2 options. There's either aging in place with the help of in-home care, or aging at a continuing care retirement community where the care is there for you. So that's really it boils down to. And I just had this epiphany not more than 6 months ago that, wow, they really only have two choices. Maybe you're understanding this for the first time. So there are your choices, there are your options. And what we're going to do is, after all these years of working with these seniors, 18 years of working with seniors, I've come up with my top 5 reasons why I feel someone might want to make a decision one way or another, or a transition. I'm going to do that more on the real estate side of things. And what Debbie's going to do is she's going to share her top 5 reasons on the continuing care retirement community side of things. Okay. So you'll get to hear from both sides. So I'll give you my top 5 reason, number 5. Deb will give her top 5. I'll give my top 4. Deb will give her number 4. 3, 2, 1. We'll get down to what really we feel is the most important. So we're going to do the David Letterman top 10 list. You remember that when David Letterman used to be on the Tonight Show? Or it was his own show. So here we go. We're going to do our top 5. I'm going to start out with my number 5 reason of why I think you should make a decision or a transition is the burden of your home. And I know some people say, well, I don't have any mortgage and it's so easy. And I know this handyman and I have the gardeners, he's all set. And I'm kind of on cruise control, but we all know we're really not on cruise control. We've got a lot of home maintenance to do. You've got your water heater, your roof, your furnace, your plumbing, your electrical, your rodents, your termites, your fences, your lawns, your pools. And you're thinking to yourself, I know the husband is going, oh my God, if I could just get out from under all of this stuff. It is quite a burden. You've got your upgrades to your home that you're going to make. Maybe some people say if it ain't broke, I'm not going to fix it. But you may need to update your kitchens, your flooring, your appliances, your double pane windows, your roof, and your painting and preventative maintenance upgrades, things like that. Also, you want to, if you're going to age in place, well, even if you're going to make a transition to a retirement community, you should make your home safer while you're there. So you need bathroom accessibility, grab bars, better lighting. We're doing one now where it's a 2-story home and there was an actual chair lift. It went from downstairs to upstairs. So there's some things you're going to need to do to make your home safer. There's also a different kind of safety, which is your personal safety. And the world is kind of crazy these days. So maybe you might be putting in some motion lights and cameras and locks on your fences and things like that. There's also the personal security of all these people coming in to help you do all of these things, the maintenance, the upgrades, the safety installations. And there's unknown people coming into your home, which is kind of odd. There's the hassle of these surprises and these emergencies. The water heater doesn't say, well, in 2 weeks, I'm probably going to be going, so you might want to look for somebody. When that water heater goes, you need water right now, and you need to find somebody quick. So that's also just quite a burden. And these workers are not available like you would think. There's fewer out there to do the jobs, and they are more expensive these days. Everything is more expensive these days. So if you do need some contractors, remember my website I was telling you about, it's just a bunch of educational information. So if you go to stayorgohomeowner.com, there's a tab there under the resources of all of my business contacts. These are the people I've been using for the last 18 years. I've vetted them. I keep the good ones. I throw out the bad ones. So if you do need any help, go to the webpage and just tell them Brian told you to call, and you'll get some special service and some attention to detail. So, all right. Now, if you are going to age in place, and I don't mind if you do, like I said, if it makes sense for you and you can afford it, I'm all for it. So if you are going to age in place, I want you to meet with in this order, a designer, an architect, and then a general contractor to find out how much it would cost to remain in your home. Then you're going to take those numbers and you're going to meet with a financial planner, or Debbie, she can help you with that. And you can discuss your cash flow. Maybe you get a reverse mortgage so you can pay for this kind of stuff. Maybe you sell an investment property, or you get a home equity line of credit to pay for these upgrades. Because if you're going to stay, we want you to be safe. It's going to be more suitable for your current lifestyle. So this means chairlifts, ramps, railings on stairways. You're going to redo your bathroom so you're safer. Okay. Now, Debbie's number 5 reason, I'm going to hand it over to Debbie. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about. So Deb, take it away for your reason number 5.
Thank you, Brian. So here in a Lifeplan Community, a continuing care retirement community, or the acronym CCRC, we are already, the community is built, our apartments are designed for your personal safety. So the apartments are designed to be ADA standards with large doorways, extra lighting, grab bars, and an emergency call system in the bathroom, in addition to your personal pendant. And then in our community, we have elevators, we have ramps, we have extra lighting outdoors, we have automatic doors. We have our personal, that provides you your personal security and peace of mind. And we do provide you a key card access to the buildings. It's like a hotel key. You simply swipe that card and it will open the doors for you, or you use your apartment key to open other doors within the community and within the buildings. We do have a dedicated staff with we have plenty of employees on campus 24 hours a day to help all the residents. And we do have a 24-hour nurses on staff. So there's some more health security, your personal security, and your safety security. That's built into a CCRC. And it's going to give you that peace of mind. It's going to unburden you, your family, and your friends. And so we're doing that work for you on your behalf.
All right. Brian's number 4 reason is that some people, not all, have a dilemma. It's a house rich cash. And so some people have a lot of equity in their home, but they can't access that equity because it's in the home, right? You would have to sell the home to get access to that equity. So some people are actually neutral cash flow, or in some cases negative cash flow, and they're having to really budget, and they live in this $2 million, $3 million, $4 million house, and they're on a budget with a neutral or negative cash flow. So they may be depleting their retirement funds. And of course, we don't want to liquidate your investment portfolios because you're going to be paying capital gains taxes on the withdrawal of those funds out of your investment accounts. Double whammy on that. If you were to sell your home, you're going to have to pay capital gains on that as well. So we don't want you to have a double whammy. So people that are house rich and cash poor, they don't have the funds available for what we just talked about: maintaining the condition of the home, making the house safe and secure, paying for those emergencies to help other people or maybe your kids. They just don't have access to funds readily available because they're on that budget. And God forbid they did need to pay for in-home care, whether it's 6 hours a day, 2 days a week, or it's round the clock. Those costs can be quite high. And we will talk about that later in the webinar, where if you can't afford $10,000 to $15,000 because you're negative or neutral cash flow, then you're going to have to be doing something in a reactive way. We want you to do things in a very positive or proactive way. And we want you to enjoy your life. We want you to go on vacation and keep the house in good shape and travel and have activities and socializing and visiting family and having family come over because you love your house and you've updated your house and you're not house rich and cash poor. So there are creative ways of doing that, but that's my number 4 reason. If you are house rich and cash poor, you're flying low to the ground, and if something happens, you don't have access to those funds readily available. So that's my number 4 reason. Let's move on to Deb's number 4 reason.
Well, here in our community, it's a new lifestyle. You're going to make new friends, you'll have new neighbors, and you're going to meet people that you may already know that live here at the Terraces. It's a small world here. So either you're meeting new friends or you're re-engaging in friendships that you've had in the past. And our campus is like a neighborhood. We're a brand new campus. We're 5.5 years new. It's a vibrant lifestyle. We're located here, nestled in the neighborhood in Los Altos, 1.5 miles from downtown Los Altos. And so we're providing you all your services. So it's like living on a cruise ship on land. And we're going to provide you amazing and nutritious food, happy hours twice a week. We do some live music. We do socializations. They have walking groups and hiking groups off campus at state parks. And they're doing trips, monthly trips. They're doing trips about 2 to 4 times a month. and in addition to the hiking trips. And so there's plenty of events, there's clubs, groups, activities that you can choose from. You can be as involved as you wish or not. You know, that's the beauty of it. You have choices. And you're going to be learning and educating yourself with different support groups and educational topics and TED Talks and Stanford professors that will come and speak. So, you know, you're being engaged and you're not having to go out, you know. If you're going out, that's fine. People here have second homes, they have family, they're doing vacations. So you're living your same lifestyle, but you're just having an ease of lifestyle with less burden and responsibility. And you have that freedom to continue to enjoy the life that you have now. Maintenance free, hassle free. We have a facilities department, a buildings and grounds department. We can do a work order for you if the sink was to go out, the refrigerator goes out, the HVAC needs a new filter. We do the repairs in the apartment. We provide all the appliances. You have a stackable washer and dryer in every apartment. And so we're here for you. You know, your friends and your family, they're grateful, you're grateful, and that you're being taken care of. And you're being proactive about your future with your health and making sure that you're taken care of. So it's a win-win for both family, yourself, and the community.
You know, to add on to that, I hear a lot that they say, now that I'm here, I can just go on vacation. I don't have to worry about it. Whereas before I had to get a house sitter, a dog sitter, I had to have, you know, people come by to pick up my Amazon packages and you know, get them while we're gone. Now they just kind of leave. So
True. Our concierge will receive all your packages, hold your packages, and other residents that live here will dog sit. You know, you just lock your apartment and you go, and we can schedule housekeeping to do a cleaning before you return.
okay, all right. So Brian's reason number 3 is the hot real estate market. And I'm sure you've all heard that it's a hot real estate market. Now, things do change. So I put some question marks in there. But things have been going quite well for the past, oh, I'd say 13, 14 years. We all remember the drop of 2008 to 2009, where we lost 20% of our home appreciation or home values in a matter of hours when all the banks went under. And yes, that was that. But my goodness, we've been on a roll for the last 13, 14 years. Just last year alone, we made 18% on our homes. So we're talking maybe $200,000 you made last year on your home. So yes, real estate market is going strong. We've had a little bit of a problem recently with the mortgage interest rates. I'll talk about that in the future, in future slides. But you know, still getting multiple offers, still selling over asking. This is a very desirable area. Look at the weather, you know, 80 degrees in July. People do want to live here. Silicon Valley, plenty of jobs, plenty of things to do. So things are going well, and there are not enough homes. So, you know, some people are saying, hey, maybe I get while the getting's good. So that is a real good reason to think about it, because things don't last forever. There are corrections like we had in 2008 to 2009, and you're kind of gambling, right? You know, like how long can I let it ride, you know, before something may happen. So I'm not saying the sky's falling or anything, but keep that in the front of your mind and think about that. So, all right, time for Debbie's number 3 reason. Hand it back to Deb.
Oh, right. Well, here at the Terraces at Los Altos, again, we are a continuing care retirement community, or you may say a life plan community. So we're the whole gamut. You come in at the independent living in our residential apartment homes. That's where you really want to start, because that is where you're going to purchase a lifetime care contract. There is an entrance fee purchase for that care contract. We are not a real estate purchase. So what is that contract providing you? It's providing you the next step. Should you need assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, we also have physical therapy services on site if you need physical therapy. We have a wellness center with our nurses for during the day. And we have 24-hour nurses on campus because we have skilled nursing on site. So you really want to start off at the independent living level, and that way you have everything else that is grandfathered into you for you by your contract. And you can only receive the contract at the very starting of that first step at the front door, independent living. And with that, you're going to have the full contract for the rest of your life. And that's what's giving you the peace of mind. You have all those services on one campus for 7 acres. We have 7 buildings on campus that you can pick and choose from where you would like to have your residential apartment. So there's lots of choices.
Yeah, that continuity, that word is so powerful that it's an effortless, seamless continuation to all access of all levels of care. So that word is so powerful. And remember at the starting of the webinar where I said you have 2 choices. It's in-home care or care at a retirement community. In-home care, I'm not sure if you're going to get that continuity that guarantees that you signed a contract that says you are preferential treatment. You go through the system because you paid that lifetime care contract. So
it's extremely powerful. So if you were to have a fall, you're recovering from pneumonia, whatever health ailment that takes you to the hospital, you know that if you need skilled nursing, you'll have a bed to come back to right within your community. If you need physical therapy services, we have it right here in your community. So your spouse is not having to drive somewhere else off-site to go visit you, to make sure, you know, that you're receiving all the care you need. We already know you. You're a resident. You've completed your health assessment. We have your health baseline. So when you come back and you go into skilled nursing, we know you. We're going to give you that continuity of care.
All right. Brian's number 2 reason. Well, it kind of tags along with the first one. Like I said, we're going through a really good real estate market. We've had our up. We've had our up for years and years. This is the longest up we've had because normally we correct every 10 years. I could show you statistics that go back to the 1950s that show you that every 10 years we have a correction. Now, luckily, the correction goes always up, right? So yeah, we come down, but we always end up higher than we were, right? Which is a good thing. So let me tell you how to predict a real estate correction, okay? This is powerful information because when you start seeing these things, you're going to say to yourself, oh yeah, that realtor guy, he said that if I see a few of these things, I might want to predict or kind of think ahead and say, well, I see 5 of these things. I see 10 of these things, 15 of these things. Maybe I should make a decision sooner than later. So like I said, prices have been going up for the last 13 years. And the reason for that is because inventory, or the number of homes on the market, number of homes that have been selling, has been coming down for that many years, right? It's supply and demand. So everybody's having a great time right now, right? The sellers are having a dance party. Woohoo, 13 years. I made 200 grand last year. And yeah, there's low inventory. Hardly any homes are on the market. And we've got this person back here in the back of the room saying, yeah, I remember 2008 where, you know, I didn't want to sell my home for 4 or 5 years till it came back, right? So you're kind of stuck in that valley till your home value comes back. And who knows what's going to happen while you're in that valley? Is my health going to decline? Something's going to happen where I need these funds and now I need to sell my home in a not in a good market. So yes, low inventory, everything's rosy right now, but what could change this word inventory, right? So as inventory climbs, right, buyers then have more choices. If there's 3 homes for sale on your street, well, now you're in competition with your neighbors. Once that happens, prices start to come down. Oh, you should buy our house. It's a little bit cheaper. You buy our house. It's a little bit cheaper. Well, these buyers have more to choose from, right? So what makes inventory increase? Well, we surveyed 100 people and came up with the top 16 answers on the board to this question. What would cause homeowners to sell their homes and make inventory increase? The first one is obviously what we just talked about, is it's a seller's market. My neighbor's getting $500,000 over asking. I've made a ton of money. I think might get while the getting's good. There's more inventory on the market. The next one is these landlords Well, there's been a COVID moratorium where you can't charge your tenant rent, but you still have to, as a landlord, pay your mortgage on the home. And people didn't like that. Well, that moratorium ended, and now a lot of landlords are selling their rentals because California is not a very renter friendly state. The next one is Proposition 19, which has just changed, that says it used to say if you were 55 or older, you could transfer your very low Prop 13 sales tax, property taxes to 7 counties in California one time in your life. Well, they changed that to you could do it 3 times now anywhere in California. So a lot of homeowners might be thinking, wow, maybe I could do it. And then if it doesn't work, I could do it again. And now I can go to counties that I couldn't go to before. Next one is SB 9 that California just put in place that says anybody that buys a house or your neighbor can level that house, split the lot into two, and put a duplex on each property. Well, a lot of neighbors don't like that idea. 4 families living on one lot with extra cars, maybe the value of their home might go down. They might want to get while the getting's good before this starts happening. Another thing is low appreciation rates. Now, I'm not saying we have low appreciation rates, but we do have lower appreciation rates than our neighboring states. Texas, Colorado, Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Oregon, New Mexico, they're all appreciating at higher rates than we are. So maybe someone might cash out and go buy a home where their home is gaining value faster. Another thing that we're experiencing right now is the mortgage interest rates. The higher the rates go, the less buying power the buyers have, which means the sellers need to reduce their price. Sellers might think, wow, I don't want that interest rate to rise again. Maybe I get while the getting's good. Also, high business taxes. California, New York, and Hawaii have the highest business taxes, and a lot of companies are leaving California and going to other states. So that means sellers or homeowners might be selling to follow the company they're working for. Capital gains tax increases could be increasing. The new administration is trying to increase the rate to 45%. It's now currently about 30 between Fed and state. So they might leave before that. Cost of living and inflation, we're all experiencing that, but California, New York, and Hawaii are really getting hit hard. Unemployment's not an issue now. While COVID was going, we're at 16% unemployment. Saying these things could happen. I'm just trying to make you aware of when you start seeing these things, you might say to yourself, wow, more homes might come on the market. That's your worst enemy, is inventory. When you come on the market, you don't want competition. You want to be the only game in town. So also consumer confidence swaying a little bit right now. Political ideology, maybe people are moving to red states, never know, could be. Telecommuting, you don't have to actually live in Cupertino to work at Apple anymore. So maybe they go live somewhere else and stay working for the same company. Maybe they need larger homes because they now have a home office or they're doing homeschooling. They would just want a different way of life. They're tired of tents on the side of the freeway and, crime and the lack of water, things like that. People might be leaving. And of course, they're going to retirement communities, right? So they have to sell their home to go to the retirement community. So in a nutshell, here are some reasons why if you see these things start to happen, maybe 5 or more of these things, you might be able to predict a real estate correction coming up, right? Okay, so that's me. That's my reason why you might make a decision. Debbie's number 2 reason. I'll give it back to Deb.
Well, most important, financial peace of mind. Here at the Terraces, I can do a financial planning spreadsheet for you, and we're going to take into account your age, your life expectancy. We're using an actual aerial table. We're going to do predictions on how many years in assisted living, skilled nursing, and or memory care while you reside in independent living. Cost of various apartments. Your variables will be the type of apartment you choose, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, the square footage of that apartment, and the type of entrance fee you pay. There are 3 contracts available for the entrance fee, so that's a variable. You have choices to how much of the entrance fee you wish. And yes, 2 of those contracts are rebatable, a 50% rebate or a 75% rebate. And that is, those rebates are returned based on your paid entrance fee that you choose. The 3rd contract is a classic traditional. After 44 months, there's no return on your paid entrance fee. However, it's the least entrance fee to join the community. So for those who are on a budget or a fixed income, that are house rich, cash poor, and they just want to spend less, they may not have any heirs, no children, so they're not worried about having a rebate go back to their family. So again, you have choices on the type of financial plan that works best for you. We're going to look at your monthly income and your expenses. Now, remember, your expenses are going to be less because you may have sold your home. There's no property tax, there's no home maintenance. You will have some income tax, your auto insurance, your medical premiums, your prescription co-pays, your living expenses. We serve lunch and dinner. There's one meal provided per day per person. It's a 3-course meal. You decide whether you want that meal with lunch or dinner. Most people break it up to 2 small meals, one for lunch, one for dinner. All apartments have a full kitchen, so your breakfast you're on your own. However, you can receive breakfast in the bistro. Those charges will go on your monthly bill. So, then we're going to look at your liquid assets available for the entrance fee. Charles Schwab, Ameritrade, Vanguard, those are your liquid assets, your trust accounts, brokerage accounts, your IRAs. We're looking at those because that's your net separately from the sale of your home, right? So we're looking at those 2 assets, rental properties, vacation homes, your investment portfolios, right? We're looking at your net worth. We're going to do your medical care. Don't forget, there is a medical care deduction from the IRS to offset your income when you're selling your home. So all of this is taken into account based on individual life expectancy for a couple or for a single person, naturally 1 life expectancy. So we're going to take your starting net of your total value net worth for your care cost, for your life expectancy. And what do you have left? Whatever you have left is yours. And you can see you have peace of mind that you covered your care costs for your life duration, the remaining chapter. And you're going to have full care. And we do we forecast 1 year living / memory care costs, and we'll forecast 6 months of skilled nursing costs. And again, you have choices. Do you want a studio apartment? Do you want a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in assisted living? Do you want a shared room in skilled nursing or a private room in skilled nursing? So I can play around with the fees based on what your comfort level is. And we can see at the end of the day, what do you have left? Whatever left is yours. We can see that you are qualified. It's a win-win for both the organization and for the contracting party. Your current home value is part of that analysis, right? Because you're using those sales proceeds when you pay the entrance fee. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the medical care deduction. It's a federal deduction, and it's a medical care deduction from your 1040 federal income tax. Last year, 2021, the IRS gave a 25% medical expense deduction from your entrance fee. So let's just keep it simple, 25% of $1 million. That is what you can deduct on your 1040. So that's going to reduce your income for that year when you sold your home, right? So that's going to soften that capital gain that you paid from selling your home. In addition to that, there is it's about I'm going to round the number, $16,000 per person as a medical expense deduction. So you're looking at $32,000, right? In addition, and that medical expense deduction per person is an annual deduction. Your entrance fee deduction is one time. You sell your house one time, you pay the entrance fee one time, so it's only a one-time deduction. You don't have to use Zillow as your estimate. You can actually get a CMA from Brian, and he can do that for you to do a home evaluation and an appraisal of your home, so that we can estimate your net amount, including your home selling costs and capital gains. That's another factor we do take in, your capital gain costs. And so Brian can help you with that. But So this is what we're doing. We're working together. I'm working together with you. My team is working together with you to go over this. And once we plug in all the numbers based on your personal finances, then I can print out the report and provide it to you. And we can even play with the numbers a little bit and say, okay, what will it cost for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath? What will it cost for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath? What will it cost if I want to live in a cottage versus in new residential in the main building? So again, what's wonderful about a continuing care retirement community is you have choices. You have choices about your care. You have choices about your financial plan that you want to put in place when you are joining the community. And, you have people here that are going to support you on a daily basis. So that's going to give you that peace of mind.
I'd say, yeah. And I mean, some people do have a financial planner and some people do not have a financial planner. Even if you do have a financial planner, that financial planner may not know the ins and outs and all the different variables and costs that Debbie has. And she's not charging you for this financial plan. She's just helping you make good decisions. So, even if you do have a financial planner, hit up Deb in that spreadsheet. It's amazing. All right, now we're getting down to my number one reason and Debbie's number one reason of why we think you might want to make either a choice or a transition. My number one reason for sure every time is going to be the in-home care industry in general. They are on complete overload right now. That industry is the fastest growing industry in the United States today. Why? I'm not sure. Maybe it's the baby boomers. We're all going to be 65 or older in the year 2030. 10,000 people every day are turning 65. So people are wanting in-home care. Also, maybe the COVID thing. Maybe they don't want to go out as much. So they're saying, hey, why don't you come to me? Well, that's overloading the industry, right? So there is a shortage of qualified workers because they're being spread thin, right? And they're being trained very quickly, right? So especially when it's just independent living and you just need a little bit of assistance, they don't need a whole lot of training. Once you step that up a little bit more, they're going to need that training. These workers are working overtime, 12-hour shifts. They're starting to get caregiver burnout. Also, you're going to have to pay overtime because they're working 12 hours a day. There's lack of supervision because there's less supervisors. There's no real consistency. You may get a different caregiver each and every time, or maybe you don't get a caregiver at all. They're not obligated to work every single day and have someone available to you, especially if you only need an hour or two or hour here or there. You're going to be a very small fish in a big pond. They're looking for those, round the clock people that they're going to send their employees into, where they're getting the 24-hour care and they're getting more income, that company. So not only is it overload, it's also the turnover rates of these caregivers. It's the number one thing that's plaguing these in-home care industry companies. 65% turnover every year, and that's growing, right? And 50% of the time you call, they turn you away because they don't have anybody for you, because they're turning over these in-home care people so often. So these in-home care people, they're making minimum wage. They're probably living multiple people in homes in Hollister and Gilroy and out of the area. So they may be late. They have to commute into the area. So what they're doing is they're shifting into other industries, right? They can work out of their home. They can deliver food to people with Instacart, or they can work at Amazon online, and they're making way more than $17, which is minimum per hour right now. So if someone's going to pay them $25 an hour or $30 an hour, they're going to go and they're going to have turnover in that industry. So when there's fewer people to work, remember the supply and demand on houses, same with the employees, these in-home care workers. If there's less of them, the costs are obviously going to be more because they can charge more, right? They have to charge more. So lastly, on my number one reason, this is something near and dear to my heart, is that there are some owners or co-owners who have cognitive issues or early onset cognitive issues. And you know who you are. We know it's difficult. And that cognitive impaired person or co-owner, that person needs consistency. and trust. That's what someone going through memory issues needs. Consistency. That's what you don't get in in-home care. Also, they're not skilled. So these in-home care agencies, they're not focused on memory care because there's not as much as there is just regular old assisted or independent living. So there's not as many of them, and there's not as good of care training for memory support people. Okay. There's also some hidden costs in upgrading your home. Remember, I told you need to make your home safer. Well, you need to make it even more safe if there is someone in your home who has cognitive issues. You need to make it safer. You need to put special locks on the door. You need to make sure they don't get burned in the stove. They're not wandering. So there are more costs involved in helping a homeowner that has cognitive issues. Lastly, the difference with in-home care versus a retirement living community, if you're both at the retirement living community, it's good for both of you. It's good for the person who's getting the cognitive care that they need because that staff is trained. That staff is staffed appropriately for how many people are in that part of the community. They don't need to staff for hundreds and hundreds of people, right? So they train them, they keep them, they get the consistency and the repeatability. That person sees the same person each time, they go to the same place each time. And also the spouse needs respite, right? The spouse, I've heard that spouses that are taking care of people pass away before the person they're even taking care of because it's so difficult to take care of someone. Well, when you're at a continuing care retirement community, you know, they're not coming into your home and you're not worried who is this and who's that and what's missing. Now you get respite. Now you're in a community where there's activities and a support network and a staff who knows what your co-owner is going through, and you can visit them at any time. You don't have to drive down to a separate community. There are some other memory care places that's all they specialize in, and then you have to go to that site. This is, you just walk to the next building and you can visit your cognitively impaired co-owner. So that's near and dear to my heart. Think about these things. If you see that coming, you don't want in-home care for this kind of support. So anything you want to add to that, Deb?
Yeah, and people may start off with hourly in-home care and say, well, it's less expensive than living in a community. Yes, for a while. 24-hour care is going to be $27,000 a month. And that's for one person.
Yeah.
That's not including caring for a couple. That's one person.
Yeah.
And in a Lifeplan community, that cost will be cut in half.
Yeah.
So
That kind of leads us right into Debbie's number one reason to make a decision or a transition is the actual costs of staying or going. So I have one slide for you here as far as the costs go.
Yes. So your number of caregivers, 6 hours a day at $210 a day. That's $6,300 a month. And then per year, $75,600. So if you need 2 caregivers, sometimes you need 2, or this is 1 caregiver 24 hours a day. And that cost per day is really taking care of 1 person. So it's going to go up more if they're going to have to care for 2, a couple. Or, sometimes a second co-owner may not need as much care, so the cost won't go up as high. But they will factor in the cost of care or extra duties for that second person. Yeah. So you can see how this can get very costly. Plus, you don't have any skilled medical, at home. Your caregivers are not highly trained in dementia care. If you are lucky enough to get a caregiver that has that experience, it's going to cost you more for that person. They're going to charge more because those are hard to find. And when you do, you want to keep them, right? So right now, people look at in-home care. Oh, we only need a little bit. Well, sure, but it won't remain that way. Right. It will get costly.
Yeah. And we figured these numbers on $35 an hour. They're going to be $45 an hour by the end of the year. And that's just going to keep going up because the demand keeps going up.
Right. And we were conservative at 35. It's already gone up to 38 an hour. So, and it's going to continue to go up. So what's nice about the Lifeplan community is when you do contract in, you pay the entrance fee one time and there is a monthly fee thereafter. The monthly fee you pay in independent living is less because you're not paying for care, right? When you need care, which can be 10 years down the road, depending on your age, you only pay for care when you actually need it. And the cost of care for one or two people, we can cut it in half from in-home 24-hour care.
Yeah.
And you're going to receive contracted rates because you are in a contract, a care contract for life. So that care contract is designed to what? Provide you care services when you need it, and you have a choice of an independent living apartment when you don't.
Yeah.
So, and plus it's cruise ship on land, right? You're living, your lifestyle is not changing. And when you need that care cost, again, it's the continuity of care. We know who you are. We know your health history. We're right here all the way with you.
Yeah. All right. So we're coming to the end of our webinar here. Here is a recap of the top 5 of my top 5 and the top 5 of Deb. And you can see that both our number ones are the in-home care industry, both the industry concerns and the costs that go involved in that. So hopefully we shook you up a little bit as far as the analysis, the paralysis of analysis. Now, here's what I want to do. Just want to give you a quick words of wisdom. We've been doing this for years and years and years. I talked with Deb, and it's always the same thing that always percolates to the top. It's not going to get easier as we age. We want you to do these things sooner, whether you stay in your home or whether you go, just to make that decision, right? You don't want to wait for things to happen. You want to make things happen. You don't want to be reactive. You want to be proactive. You want to plan things out. And that's going to reduce your stress, reduce your costs, less surprises. If you wait and you do it later, other people are going to be doing it for you, making your decisions for you. Where does this go? Where does that go? It's going to be more stressful, more rushed, more expensive. You're going to be on edge. You're going to make mistakes. And there might not be that availability at the communities. And of course, you may not be eligible for independent living if you wait too long, because here's how it works. You come in the front door, the independent living front door, okay? And you get preferential treatment to go through and have that continuity of care. You get first right of refusal to go into assisted living, into memory care, into skilled nursing, no questions asked, right? If you wait too long and you come and knock on the side assisted living door and you say, hey, I kind of waited too long, we need to get into assisted living, what you're going to hear is, hey, all these other people came in the independent living front door, they're moving through the system. If for some chance somebody at the time where you want to get in, maybe it doesn't have a reservation for the assisted living unit, maybe you'll get in, but who knows how long that's going to take. And that'll take longer. Things could happen. So the main key point of every webinar we do is always, please don't wait too long or you're going to run out of choices. All right. We're running down. We've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to ask you some questions. Don't leave yet. These are very thought-provoking questions. Take your hand and you're going to count on your hand if you say no, how many times you say no. If you say no more than 5 times and you're in like 6 times or 7 times, that's going to get you thinking. So here's my questions to you. You keep track of your no's. First one, does my home suit my current lifestyle? Yes or no? The question, has my home been upgraded to reduce the chance of falls? Maybe a lot of you have done that. Does my home have a downstairs bedroom and full bathroom so that I can age in place? Yes or no? Is the neighborhood the same as it was back in the day? And do I have a support network of friends, family, neighbors who are willing to help me age in place? I'm not done. There's 10 more questions. Am I cash flow positive every month? Super important. Or are you cash flow negative or neutral? Am I physically and financially prepared for these emergencies? And I'm talking $100,000 emergencies. Do I have long-term care insurance to cover my physical therapy, my skilled nursing, my memory care? Do I have a formal financial plan that ensures I won't outlive my funds like Debbie can help you with? Without selling my home, Can I afford the cost of in-home care, skilled nursing, memory care, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 per month on an ongoing basis without selling your home? Lastly, do I enjoy cooking, cleaning, driving, maintaining my property? Do I get enough social interaction, stimulating experiences, and just plain old fun? Can I count on my health remaining the same for the next 10 years? Am I sure that I want to remain isolated in my home, aging in place, rather than living in a thriving community of like-minded people on the cruise ship on land? So if you said no to more than, say, 5 of those, I would say your next steps would be to get together with Deb, have a conversation with her, say, hey, I answered no to about 6 or 7 of those. It's just a conversation. We have no expectations. We're not going to try and stick a sign in your lawn or have you sign some contract, but we do probably want you to get on the waiting list as an insurance policy, right? Now, if you do want to meet with me, I do a personal homeowner analysis. We can plan out your future, whether you're staying or whether you're going. We can talk about your different options. We can talk about your capital gains. We can talk about if a co-owner did pass away in the past, what was your step up in basis? How are you holding title? How are you holding title now? Home preparation, things like what do you need to do and what don't you need to do should you decide to sell? Should I buy first and just move in, or do I have to sell first? There's some creative financing we can help you with. Are you going to occupy the property while it's on the market, or do you want to vacate before it goes on the market? Do you want to just rent out that home and take a cash flow, or do you want to sell it and do a cash out? Talk about real estate, all sorts of stuff. Whoops. And if you want to find out about that or make an appointment, just go on the website. There's a tab called consultation. So that's what I think. You should just get together with us and pick our brains. Hopefully we got you. You were on the fence, and maybe you were over here, and maybe you were over there, and maybe you took one baby step. You got something out of this. I'd be happy if you just were more decisive, just you need to make a decision sooner than later. That's all. Whatever decision you make is fine.
I agree with you 100%. I've seen it too many times where people do wait. And it's too late. They're not eligible anymore, health-wise, the health criteria to join independent living. And so they're going to be in a standalone facility, which are month-to-month rentals, and they cost more.
Yeah.
They will cost you more. And so don't wait too late. And we're glad you joined us today. And we hope that you took away some good nuggets and some good information that you can ponder on to help you decide what side of the fence are you going to be.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Deb.
All right. Thank you, Brian, again. Thank you, everyone, again, for joining us, and join us next time. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.